Hey baddies, welcome back to the Baddest You podcast, where every listen takes you to the baddest version of yourself. I am your baddie level up coach, Ambria, and today we're getting into how to be the prize. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Ambria. Follow the Baddest You podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, and let's get into this week's episode. So how can we be the prize? The prize is the person of value. The prize is somebody who is a person of substance and has so much worth. And this person is usually somebody who another person's lucky to be with, to engage with. That it's a privilege and honor to be in their presence. And today I'm going to teach you guys how you can be the prize. So what makes you the prize? The prize is the person who is most prioritized, most valued, most cared about, most focused on, which means that in order to be the prize, how do you be the prize? By prioritizing yourself, by prioritizing you, right? By caring more about yourself, especially when it comes to relationships. A lot of times we as women can find ourselves worrying a lot about our partner or focusing a lot on other people's actions towards us, right? But this is actually a way of trying to keep ourselves safe. People pleasing, self-abandoning, doing a lot of things to make sure that other people are satisfied in a relationship with us. But all this leads to is us chasing and trying to prove our value and our worth. And we're not dating like that anymore, right? We're not engaging in relationships with people where we feel like we have to prove ourselves, or we feel like we're lucky to be with them and we make them the prize. Our constant thought all day is about what they're doing, what they're up to, what's going on with them, how they're perceiving us, how can I make them happy next? Like, you have to understand, in order to have a healthy and effective relationship with another person, you have to value yourself first and foremost. So what makes you the prize? Prioritizing yourself. And that means focusing on your own experience, right? When something happens, are you immediately assuming the other person's perspective and not even, paying attention to your own? Yeah, that's not serving you. Okay, focusing on your own experience. This person made me feel this way. I see this situation in this perspective, right? And that's not to say you can't take other people's perspectives. You absolutely should. But a lot of times when you're an empathic person, you can disregard your own perspective and overvalue another person, or completely try to fix things from their perspective. And it just doesn't serve you as the prize, right? Because we're not dating in a way where we're trying to prove ourselves. So focus on your own experience, your own perspective. This made me feel this way. I don't want to experience that anymore. Making decisions for yourself in a way that ensures you have the utmost happiness and respect and are being treated the way you deserve to be treated in relationships, because that's your responsibility the most, okay? Making sure that you're honoring yourself in a way where you're not accepting less in relationships. Also, being the prize requires you to focus on your goals the most. I remember one time I was watching a TikTok and this girl in the video was saying that when you meet a person, when you fall in love with somebody, not to forget your habits and to not forget your solo dates, and to make sure you're still adding to yourself and dating yourself just as much, spending that quality time with yourself. And especially when like I was saying, when it comes to your goals, if you have to go to the gym and someone's texting you, finish your set first before you respond. Don't just put the weight down. Like, prioritize yourself. Have this idea that you are the most important, because you cannot give to others if your cup is not full. I truly believe that we shouldn't even be given to others unless our cup is already overflowing. They can take from the abundance of what we already have, right? If you aren't in the state to go out with your friends and you're not feeling it, then don't go out. That looks like prioritizing your experience, prioritizing your own feelings, all right? If something's making you uncomfortable, someone wants you to travel an hour away and you're not comfortable with that, prioritize yourself. I'm not comfortable with that. Say that. Like, make them meet you at your standards and your boundaries. Okay, so yeah, if you, especially like focusing on your goals, like that's such a great one, because that keeps you focused on elevating and becoming the best version of yourself, regardless of what the world around you is showing you. And it's just important, because a lot of times things can be hurtful, things can distract us, especially if you're dealing with a new person. You don't know if this person is narcissistic, you don't know if this person has the best intentions. So remaining your top priority always helps you guys to see the truth in people, helps you guys to make sure that you're honoring yourself regardless of situations. One of my favorite things to say is, however this situation goes down, I'm gonna be good regardless. That's what it looks like to be the prize, right? You're not like, I'm gonna lose myself if this person doesn't choose me. I'm gonna lose myself if this situation doesn't go my way. You don't need things to go your way, because it's always going your way, because you're the prize. It's also about seeing yourself in a way where it's a privilege and an honor to be in your presence. You're not begging anybody to spend time with you. You're not begging anybody to be in your energy. You're not desperate for a partner. You're not desperate in a way where you're self-abandoning yourself just to keep somebody else around. You're happy most in your own energy. One of my favorite affirmations is also, my own energy is the best. That is such prize-oriented energy. My own energy is the best. This person doesn't add to me the way I want. I get to spend time with myself. I get to honor myself, because my own energy is the best. If something's not up to your standards, if something's not up to what you desire, then you have the ability to say no to it because your own energy is the best. It's just important to make sure you're staying focused and staying your top priority, regardless of the people that come in your life or leave your life. You're staying intentional and focused on that vision board, on the new year we're stepping into, on the version of yourself you want to become, on that dream body. Like, you're extremely focused on who you're becoming long term. That's your top priority. And that is just the way that the prize thinks, okay? They're not wasting their last dollar to make somebody happy. They're focused on building their finances. They're not using the last of their energy to people please. They're using their energy towards themselves, adding to themselves. So just remember, being the prize means that you're prioritizing yourself, your experience, you're focusing on yourself most, and you're taking care of yourself first, because you know you can't give to others, and you know the right person for you will be a person who honors you and honoring yourself. So an interesting concept to take into consideration when you're dating, people are like, oh, I want to find the one. What if I told you you are the one, right? You are the one. The most important relationship in your life is you, your relationship with yourself. No matter who comes in and leaves, like I was saying before, you'll always have you. You'll always stick with yourself. And if you're not cultivating that relationship with yourself in a way where you feel like you are the one, you're happy in your own energy, you're taking care of yourself, you're honoring yourself first, then you will find yourself constantly feeling empty and chasing other people, chasing circumstances, chasing, hoping, wishing, instead of just choosing yourself. Everybody else is an add-on. People are supposed to be adding on to the love you already give to yourself. You're not looking for somebody to give you love. You're looking for somebody to reflect the love that you're giving yourself already. You're not going to deal with somebody who's not giving you what you deserve, or giving you less than you already give yourself, right? That's why it's so important, especially like what's going to help you be the prize is like taking yourself on solo dates, treating yourself like a person of value, treating yourself like how you want a person in a relationship to treat you. And you're not going to have the idea of princess treatment on a pedestal, because you're already valuing yourself and treating yourself like you are the prize. You're not walking into your dating life hoping someone likes you, or hoping someone chooses you, or like hoping someone takes you out of your loneliness and singlehood. You're walking in knowing that you deserve the absolute best out of life. By your existence alone, existing in someone's life, their hair is just growing longer and they naturally have more money, and that your essence is creation and life, and you are the source of power and you are the source of life, and that your existence alone is powerful and has so much value, right? You're not trying to prove and give and pay and go 50-50. You're walking in understanding you deserve the best, knowing who you are and not settling for less. And you're dating to add to yourself what you're already giving to yourself, not to hopefully be chosen by somebody. You're dating choosing yourself, knowing you deserve the best, not hoping you can have the best. And so when it comes to being the prize, it's about understanding that you are the most important person in your life, that your relationship with yourself is the most important, right? If you ever feel like you're at a kind of crossroads where you want to do something for yourself, but you feel like, but this person would be happy if I did that. Like, prioritize yourself, prioritize your happiness, prioritize your experience. Be very focused in your own life. Be very focused on the things that you want to do and the woman you want to become and the things you're interested in. And something interesting too is like, there's so many ways to focus on yourself. Like, a person is awesome and they're amazing and great. People are awesome, amazing, and great, but like, there is so much to do with yourself. Either whether it's taking yourself out, spending quality time with yourself, loving yourself in the 5 love languages, buying yourself something, learning about yourself, right? Like, these things are so amazing, and you don't have to be with another person to do these things. And so it's just important to realize, like, if somebody said they give you a call and they'll call you soon, and they said they call you at 5, it's like 10 o'clock, they're finally calling you, you're too busy like prioritizing your sleep schedule. Like, you're going to sleep, you know what I mean? Like, you're drinking your tea, you're reading your book. You don't need this person. And if they're not showing up the way that you expect them to show up, you don't have to settle and accept that treatment. You can prioritize yourself. Like, you just have to know, baddies, and trust that the right person for you is going to honor you and your natural routine and your version of yourself you're trying to become. And as long as you're being the best version of yourself, you're naturally just always going to attract better in life. So that's why it's so important to make sure you're not putting all your eggs in one basket or being super desperate and trying to make this one person the one. Like, your relationship with yourself is the most important, and your happiness matters most. So if it's not making you happy, if it's not adding to you, if it's not making you feel secure and happy, it quite literally doesn't even deserve your attention and energy. It's about having those boundaries with yourself. And being the prize is about making sure that you're not allowing anything less than you deserve in your energy, in your atmosphere. You're not answering to below bare minimum treatment. You're not answering to people who don't deserve your energy, your presence. Like, you're prioritizing yourself first and foremost. You're taking care of yourself first and foremost, and you're not allowing anything less to distract you. So another way that you guys can maintain being the prize is working on your self-concept. Your self-concept is your perception of yourself. It's your deep understanding of your value and your worth in regards to situations, outside of other situations. It's just knowing who you are. And this can be done through meditations, through affirmations, through being consistent and focusing on yourself and taking the time to make sure you're consistently seeing yourself in a highlight, regardless of the world around you. Because especially if you're a person who's the prize, you'll find a lot of times people will try to act like you're not who you are, to try to take advantage of you, or to try to make you lower your value so they can have access to you. Like, that's why it's so important to like be consistent in working on your self-concept and knowing who you are. One of my favorite ways is by listening to affirmation tracks in my sleep regarding self-worth. It's very important to make sure you guys are doing some form of like working on your self-concept, whether this is listening to self-love affirmations every morning, or affirmations in your sleep, or doing a meditation surrounding feeling confident, or working on yourself, going to the gym, right? Staying your top priority is a great way to maintain this prize-oriented energy. So just remember, baddies, that you are the one to impress. You are the one to win over, right? Barbie has a good day every day, but Ken has a good day when Barbie looks at Ken. It's just important to make sure you guys are seeing yourselves in a highlight, regardless of situations, regardless of circumstances. Just making sure you remember that when people treat you less than you deserve, it's not something where you have to prove yourself to them or tell them, well, this is who I am, I deserve better. It's about valuing yourself enough to know, like, this person's actions are already showing me that I deserve better, and I'm not gonna engage with this like low bare minimum, below bare minimum treatment or behaviors, and I'm the one to impress. Like, if you're walking in, especially if you're like, you know, heterosexual and you're dating a guy and they're trying to act like they're the prize, like, be so for real. Like you are the prize. You deserve the absolute best out of life. So make sure that you have boundaries and standards to help you to stay on that pedestal, to make sure you're constantly seeing yourself in a way where you deserve the best. You're not walking in trying to be liked. You're not walking in trying to get what you want. You're knowing that you deserve the best, and you're knowing that for someone so amazing as you, of course, there's somebody out there who can give you what you deserve. So you're not settling. You're not feeling like, oh, there's nobody better. You're not feeling like, oh, I can't have what I want. You're walking in, valuing yourself, knowing who you are, and only choosing people who give you the treatment you absolutely deserve. And you quite literally don't have time for anything less. All right. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Baddest You podcast. I'm your baddie level up coach, Ambria Harty. Make sure you check me out on my Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Ambria Harty. Follow the Baddest You on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And I will see you guys on next week's episode of the Baddest You. Bye, baddies. Mwah.